what happens next in this case. And there are a couple of options. Can you lay those out for our viewers?
Well, originally we thought the options were that you can, the prosecution can decide not to retry the case, to retry the case, or the third option was to work out some kind of plea bargain or offer so nobody has to retry it, although I don't know if anybody in the defense here would accept that. However, the prosecution kind of jumped the gun and instantly said they want to retry the case. So it would, if there's going to be another trial, it'll be sometime within the next year. We don't know if it's going to be 5 months or 10 months, but that's what they're saying now. They've made the announcement they are going to have a second trial, and we'll go back to square one and do it all over again.
I also heard, and perhaps you're the knowledgeable one on this, that the defense can also make a move to maybe appeal the charges or something?
No, I had actually not heard that if they were convicted, they could certainly do an appeal. But at this point, though, they can't really change the charges. However, the prosecution can change the charges. For example, one of the charges here was actually murder, and which would show an intentional killing. And they didn't even bring up any evidence of that during the trial. So they could tighten up the charges, I guess, eliminate at least one of the charges if they wanted to. But that's in the province of the district attorney. They're the ones who decide what to charge and what not to charge.
Right. And will we ever learn the inner workings and the number of jurors that were either for or against it, or is that only if a juror decides to go public?
Yeah, we can't force the jurors to talk. However, most of the time, at some point or another, they do decide to talk to reporters or talk to somebody. So that comes out. And that is the $1,000,000 question that all of us will be fascinated by. Was this, were there like 10 people in favor of acquittal and there were only 2 who were going to find him guilty, or was the other way around, or was it equal? And we'd really love to know their reasoning. The unscientific polls that we saw, and anecdotally, it was a sense that this was not, the public did not have a 50-50 breakdown on this. The public was about 85% thinking that she should not be found guilty. So that's what we all are fascinated to learn, exactly what the jury was thinking here.
Right. And, we've heard from a lot of people, in even the judge made a reference to this herself today, is that this is not an easy case to retry. There are so many facets, so many people.
Yeah, that is correct. This case was, we keep using this word to death, unprecedented, but this was unusual. There were hundreds of moving parts to it, and there were all kinds of controversies, and were the police prejudiced, and that we never really had a definite method of death. He had a state medical examiner said didn't know whether the person was punched or was hit by a car, and there was no eyewitnesses to it. So, and yet that we had 70-something witnesses testify, and we had I think 657 exhibits, and there were so many moving parts of this. It was a very complicated, complex case. And additionally, we've never had a case like this, I think, in decades that I've been witnessing criminal trials in Massachusetts, that seemed to garner such controversy with the public divided on it.
Right. And if they will go ahead, the Commonwealth, if it goes ahead and does this appeal, will we see any changes in terms of their prosecutorial team and the methods of how they'll redo this?
Oh, yes, they have a chance to. This is the prosecution's advantage. They have a chance to do a complete do-over here. They can cut the number of witnesses in half, because a lot of people were commenting they thought it was way, way too much with their 70-something witnesses. And they can drop some of the charges, and they can have an entirely different approach. They can even have a different prosecutor from the Norfolk County DA's office do it. So, yes, they can streamline things and radically change the whole thrust of the prosecution.
All right. Well, you've answered all my questions. I certainly appreciate your time.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right. You're welcome. It's our pleasure. Thank you.